Welcome back to Chill with B and C. I'm B.
I'm C.
Let's chill.
Like, you don't have to be friends with somebody to be nice to somebody.
Exactly.
Especially like even like it's like a big thing, you know, even like out in public. Like when you see somebody, say excuse me, say please and thank you. Like you don't know what you don't know what that like. I know that you got your own stuff going on, but you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know where they came from. You don't know where they're going. Like you don't know how their day is going. So it's a simple just excuse me. Hey, can I help you out with something, please? Whatever. Like, just be courteous to people. And like, that's funny that like when we were in California, that was a big thing that I talked to her about, and I was like, wow, no offense if you're from California and you're watching this, but they're not nice people over there. No. They're rude. Yeah. Like they just, and maybe it's because I'm from the South. And I mean, I'm not expecting you to say like a yes ma'am, no ma'am. No, I would never expect that. But like, they don't even look at you in the face and say like hello. Like they're
the one lady that opened the door for it, she looked at me like.
You go to a Walmart or a gas station, whatever, in California, and you go to get something from the counter, they don't even make eye contact with you anymore. Like,
we stopped on the way to drive to the Grand Canyon. We were getting gas in that one place that had like the raccoon hats and stuff like that. And I was just like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" She was like, She said, How are you doing? That's not okay.
She said, For real? Damn, I'm glad I wasn't there. Because I hate that. Like, and see, I'm that person that.
If there was another gas station, I would have gone somewhere else.
Oh yeah, that's right. There wasn't a gas station. But no, that's true though, because like I'm that person. Like I'll take my business elsewhere. Like if you just can't be compassionate enough to just say hello, how are you? Like I don't care what anybody says. There is nothing going on in your life, or did go on, or just happened to you that you can't give somebody just a.
But you want to bring somebody else down.
Don't do that. Bring people up. Like don't just if you're in a negative mood, just stay home.
Just like when we were in elementary school, treat people how you want to be treated. Do you want someone to say to hey, how are you? Like, I mean, it's
you know what's really funny is parents out there, especially if you have little ones. Like I have a niece, and it's funny because I watched this thing on YouTube about this mom, and she was trying to teach her daughter manners, and the little girl was just she was a savage. I'll give it to her. And every time that like if the little girl would like throw a toy at her mom or something, guess what her mama did? Threw that toy at her. Like not hit her in the face, but threw it at her. You know what I'm saying? Or like if she was crying because she couldn't have some chocolate or whatever the heck it was.
Crying,
she would hurt. She would tell her daughter like, hey, can you give me a drink? Just testing her. And her, of course, her sister or the daughter was like, no, and she would cry as if like, so basically she was acting like her daughter was. And towards the end of the video, the daughter literally just stopped doing it because she's like, oh my God, she's gonna do it to me. So it was annoying the little girl. And at the end of the video, the girl is like, Mommy, stop doing that. Like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Just stop. Like, stop acting because it's annoying. So I do that to my niece sometimes. Like when she's acting like a fool. Like if she starts complaining about something or whatever, I'll do it to her. I'll act the way that she acts towards me, and then they see it and they're like, "Oh, okay, I am kind of being,
I did the crying once to my nephew.
I'm telling you, it works.
My nephew, he started crying, and I was like, and I just started.
Especially when he started sobbing.
No, he started screaming,
screaming,
crying. So you know what I did? I screamed right back at. But I wasn't saying words. I was just matching screaming. The same tone.
Yeah, just matching.
And then he's like, he stops and he's like confused and he's like looking at me.
Cause it's annoying. He's like, oh, okay, I gotta stop. I'm sounding. No, seriously. Yeah. But that's like even your adult life. Like I can't tell you how many times like if I got an attitude or if I'm in a bad mood or something, and like Burkell or even Cody or whoever will be like, listen, you got a snappy ass attitude. You need to stop. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, ooh, okay. Like, you don't even realize it. And then when somebody says something, you're like, okay, I'm kind of being nasty. Like, let me chill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, don't be rude about it, but tell your friends, like, hey, man, you kind of act like a douchebag. Like, chill out. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to correct somebody, but it's a way to do it, too. And also, like, and again, like, what if I had an attitude because something did happen? Like, go up to that person and say, hey, man, like, you all right? You want to talk about something? Like, is everything okay? You got something on your mind? You'd be surprised. Like, I've had that happen to me, and it's like, when someone asks me, like, you want to talk about it? And it's like, oh, like every emotion, I just want to vent all of it, because I'm like, I need to talk about it. Like,
you know what's funny? Somebody had posted about, when someone's like, oh, like, how are you doing? And you're just like, I'm good.
And you just say everything.
No, when you're like, I'm good. And then, like, they were like, so they're talking about, they asked somebody that morning that they work with, they're like, oh, how are you? And she's like, I'm good. And then their boss invited them all out to happy hour. So she has a few drinks or whatever. She just starts crying. And then they were like, what's wrong? Like, and she was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, like, too much. Oh, I just filed divorce, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I asked you how you went this morning. You said good. And she's like, what the fuck do you want me to say? That my husband wants to divorce me and that we're going to have to split cut. Like, it was just like, and I'm like,
sometimes you just gotta let it out, man.
But I'm like, honestly though, in the morning, like when you ask somebody, like, oh, hey, how are you? Do you ever want them to be like, just unload it?
Oh, no, absolutely not. But there's obviously a time and a place. But that's a big thing too. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, we had this girl that I work with, and she's expecting right now, and she was kind of being quiet, and obviously I know that she early on in her pregnancy, I know that they could feel sick and nasty and stuff, and I was genuinely worried. So I noticed that obviously she was not being herself. I noticed that she was not being talkative, and I walked right up to her, and I just I said, listen, if you need to talk, or if you're not feeling well, say something. And she kind of brushed it off and let it go. And then I kind of, I didn't say anything to her. And then later on in the day, she had obviously told me that, she was obviously, getting sick in the bathroom a few times. She's not feeling too hot. And I didn't know. I did not know she was in the bathroom. I did not know that she was hiding it. She didn't hide the pregnancy, obviously, but she was hiding feeling ill. Like she didn't want people to see that she was weak, that she was down, and it took someone like me to be like, it's all right. Like, if you need to go to the bathroom and go get sick, go get sick or whatever. So, again, like, you don't know what's going on. And, like, she's early on in her pregnancy, too. So, like, what if she wouldn't have told us yet and we didn't know that she was pregnant? And it's like, why is she disappearing every 5 minutes? Is she on the phone? Like, you don't know. Like, when you work in a job, you're like, oh, they're texting on their phone. They're on the phone talking to somebody.
They're out smoking.
And, yeah. But in reality, the poor girl is not feeling well, and she's literally in the bathroom getting sick. Like, it sucks. So